mushroom margarita and sweet delicious chicken. They beefing up the flavour.
Get 2 large pizzas from the Saver Flavor range for only $144.90. Roman's Pizza. We deliver or you collect.
Just show the slow motion cheese pull. That's what's going to make them less.
Available all day, every day at Roman's Pizza Athlone and Roman's Pizza Promenade.
Itchy feet? Are your athlete's feet getting out of hand? Do you suffer from ingrown toenails? Is cutting your toenails more of a pain than the toes itself? Calluses, corns, and bunions is not what you asked for. Rescue your feet now at Feet for Life. Feet for Life. We treat all foot-related problems like diabetic feet, foot screening, and basic foot care. Visit Feet for Life at our 3 branches in Constantia, Rondebosch, and Mitchell's Plain. Contact them on 067 988 6045 or go to their website on www.feedforlife.co.za to book your appointment now.
The Voice of the Cape, 91.3 FM stereo.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a warm welcome back to the 10 a.m. Express this morning. And I know that you guys are excited when it comes to a Thursday morning. As we always do, we start off with our recipe segment. And today I've got with me Ereesha Isaacs, and she's of course the owner and head baker in her own business, but she's going to be telling us a little bit more. Very nervous, Ereesha. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So you can relax now. Take a deep breath. For those of you who are listening out there, of course, this is how most people feel when they come into studio. But once we start speaking about their passion, there's no stop to that. So you should tell us a little bit about yourself.
I grew up in Athlone. We're formerly from Athlone.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not much of a talkative person. Yeah, and I'm a bit nervous.
Okay, so that's where the nerves coming.
Yeah.
The nerves is coming from, not being a talkative person. But
yes.
You said you are from. You told us where you're from. Where did your love for baking start?
My mother, she loved the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Used to love the kitchen. Well, I place in Jannah. Yeah, and from there she learned me to cook, to bake. And whenever she's in work, I do whatever I could.
Yes.
Baking or whatever I can.
Okay.
And from there, and I just love being in the kitchen.
Okay, what was your first thing that you perfected in the kitchen?
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake. Okay. And, like being at home now, we just come out of COVID and lots of people, shared the story that this has actually helped them. Their business has actually grown, or they had to make it work for some reason because of COVID. Was this the case for you as well?
Yeah, like my husband lost his job. Mm-hmm. I've worked recently, so my contract stopped. And so I just decided to do something. And I've did the donuts.
Okay. Yeah. How did you start with the donuts, and how was the sales at the beginning?
It was good. I've learned the donut by one auntie. That's actually a neighbor from me.
Okay.
Yes.
So people still share their family recipes. That's good.
She taught me the donut, and as I every time made it, and then I just do it every time like a perfectionist.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And it comes every time good.
Okay, alhamdulillah. In which area do you sell your donuts?
In our area, in Tafelsig.
Okay.
We live in Tafelsig now.
Okay.
Lost City.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. So tell us, with this, obviously it takes a lot of time up in the kitchen. How's the support?
It doesn't take much time
to make.
Don't take much time.
Okay.
Yeah. And the ingredients is very little. It's not much.
Okay. Do you have anybody helping you? Your children, your husband?
Yeah, my husband is there at home. Okay. And then my daughter, she's done writing exams. My son is also there. Yeah.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. So I know lots of people already, they want to know on a Thursday when they just hear that there's a guest on air, and they want to know what the recipe is. For this recipe, what is required for ingredients?
Okay, it's half a cup of sugar, quarter butter, 5 ml vanilla essence,
Okay.
and then your 2 packet of yeast.
Is that it?
Yes, and then you get you put liter milk.
A liter milk?
Yeah,
Okay.
the liter milk you put on the stove, make it lukewarm.
Okay.
You put a piece of butter in the milk, let the butter melt, and then the milk you throw in last.
Okay. So basically, are you going to add all the dry ingredients? So you're going to put your sugar and it's just basically your sugar and your yeast that's dry.
Yeah, and the 3 eggs, Mom, and the 3
eggs. Okay.
Yeah, so 3 eggs, the sugar, the vanilla essence, you stir that 3 together, make it a smooth combination.
Yes.
And then the yeast you throw in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and then you stir that all together.
Okay,
Then the 8 cups of flour.
8 cups of flour.
Yes.
Okay. So you put together, you're saying the yeast, the flour you put together as well as the sugar.
The sugar, the eggs, the sugar, the vanilla essence. That 3 first.
So it's the eggs, the sugar, and the vanilla essence that goes together.
Yes.
Yes.
And then the yeast.
And then the yeast with that mixture.
Yeah, with that mixture, yes.
So do you just make sure that everything mixes in the bowl?
Yes.
Okay. So now we go on to the eggs. Tell us what to do again with the eggs.
No, the eggs you just throw in normal, the yolk and the yellow.
Into this mixture.
Yes.
So you're adding the eggs, and then you said that the liter milk needs to be lukewarm.
Lukewarm. Make sure the butter is melted in the milk. And then you, before you throw the milk in, you take your 8 cups of flour, you shift it, and then afterwards, then you just pour your milk. You just add your milk until your dough is nice and firm.
Okay. What must that texture be like once everything is now mixed?
Okay. It mustn't be dry. It's more like a wet one.
But not a runny.
Not the runny one.
Yes.
And the mixture I do with my wooden spoon.
Okay.
With my hand, my wooden spoon. Not with your hand.
Okay.
Like you need
Yes.
other, like a persistent, not like that.
I have a very silly question to ask. I want to ask, can you use a mixer?
A normal mixer, yes.
A normal
the
mixer.
donut mixer.
Okay, so it's
Yes.
not traditional,
Not the hand. That's old school.
Okay, so you are allowed to use that. That's just for everybody. I wasn't asking for me.
No,
It's for
it's
everybody else. Okay, so now we've got this mixture. What then happens next?
And then you, when you're done, you mix it, finish when you're done, and you can just let it stand and rise for about an hour.
Do we cover it?
You don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there's another thing. A piece of plastic or maybe like a bread packet.
Yes.
You put oil on and you put it on the dough. And you just cover with a lid. Just put it in a warm space wherever, and it rises for about an hour.
Okay. So once now after that hour, how do I know that this the texture is now ready for me to use?
You can see it will come like small bubbles on top of it.
Okay.
Then you will see, if you see your texture rise in your bowl, and then it's
it's ready.
ready,
Okay.
yes.
How much donuts do you get out of this mixture?
okay. My 8 cups, I get 102.
102 donuts out of 8 cups.
Last night I
Wow.
got 102 out of it.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay. So definitely something I know lots of us are going to try that, inshallah. So now you've got the texture. You've given us the idea of what it must look like. So what do we do with the dough after?
After you put your surface with oil, wherever you going to put it down.
Yeah.
You roll it out, you cut it in pieces, and you just put it like you put a kusista down.
Yes.
You just put it down, and while your oil is heating up and then the donut will rise on its own on the surface where you put.
Okay, so you're saying to take the mixture out. So you're putting it onto the surface. Are you cutting it? Are you using a knife or are you breaking it?
No, I cut it with a knife.
Okay, so
I
you
roll it out like a long
piece of dough,
yeah,
yeah?
yes, and then I will cut it into pieces.
Okay, so
and
now
then
you're
I will
placing
just
it.
pack it, and
Okay.
on the oil surface.
On the oil,
It
'cause
must be an oil surface, otherwise it's going to stick against.
And not flour.
No, no flour.
Okay, so
only
it's oil surface, and then you've rolled that out. So now we know that there's still a rising process when that happens.
Yes, while
right?
you heat up the oil, and then the donut can rise, and it gives a nice.
Okay, awesome. So now you've got your oil ready, and so is this a deep oil donut? Is it something that we fry
I take a 2-liter bottle of oil.
Okay,
Yeah.
can it be done in a fryer as well?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
now what is the method of frying your donuts?
It's just like a normal.
You heat up the oil.
Yeah, you heat up the oil. Oh, yeah, and then I take a spatula. That is also a
Okay.
tricky one, eh?
That is why I'm asking, because I know there's
Yeah,
little tricks in
there's-
between
yes,
that makes it successful.
The spatula, okay, I also thought, got this by an auntie. She passed also away in our road. And she told me, she came one day, I was busy in the kitchen. She told me, do you have a spatula? I'm like, yes, auntie. She said, just take the spatula, then you lift it up, and then it gives a nice form.
Okay, and you don't have
I've
all of
been-
the
Yes,
the
but I don't need to use my hands.
Yes.
Because the hands make like
Different
finger,
shapes.
Yes. And so I took the spatula, and it gives a perfect shape.
Alhamdulillah, I'm glad that you shared that tip with us, because I know many of us ours look like little aliens when we look.
Yeah, yes, man. By the start, it looked funny.
Yes, and so okay, so now you're lifting that, and now the oil. How hot must the oil be? And will it still rise, or will it come out properly if the oil is not properly warm?
Yeah, that's why I will always have a separate one to check the oil. The oil must be medium, medium heat.
Okay, so now you put it into the pot. How long and how do you know that it's ready to take
You
out now?
will see it, the color of the donut.
Okay.
As you can see here,
Yes.
it must be that color.
Like a golden, light golden brown.
yes.
How do we know that, sometimes when you put your oil on a high, sometimes you
Then
put
it burns.
It burns, it gets
Yeah,
dark,
it
and then
gets
it's still
dark.
raw inside as well.
Yes.
And what is the right temperature basically to, is it on the highest level that you
Not
put
too high, like I said, on a medium level.
Okay.
Yeah, medium.
And it must be golden brown.
Yes.
Okay. So when it's ready, we take it out. How do we then take it out? Does it go into a Tupperware? Does
I
it be
put it
strained?
I put it in a normal Tupperware bowl.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, so now the best part of all is obviously the sugaring part. We like that part. Tell us, how do you put your sugar together? Your syrup.
I used 5 cups of sugar and 3 cups of water to make it a nice sticky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question for you. Okay, I've heard this recipe so many times for the syrup. But now you need to tell me exactly, when do I put the donut in? When is the right time?
You will see the sugar gives a lot of bubbles.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not
And
too
then
sticky.
No, you can check on your spoon. You can
Yes.
put your spoon in, then you can check. I normally dip the syrup on my finger to see if it makes that
Stickiness.
wet. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. If it's like that, then you can dip your
Okay.
donut in.
And then also, when it's too sticky, when it's very sticky, is there a way that you can
you
keep
just pour maybe a little
The water with
to make it.
a little
Yeah.
more runny? Okay.
Yes.
So we've got a question that came through here. It says, can you make ring donuts with this recipe as well? Do you know?
Not a ring donut.
Okay, you can't make a
Not
ring
a
donut. So
ring
this is just
donut.
basically a normal standard
Standard donut.
recipe. Okay. So now we put our donuts in, and then obviously we put the coconut on afterwards.
Yes.
Can this donut, have any other topping other than coconut?
Yes, you can slice it open. You put in your custard or your
Oh,
fresh
okay.
cream. Yeah.
Okay, and it also needs to be sugared when you do that.
Yes.
Oh.
No, Mouth. No. You don't need to. You can make it just so, and then your icing sugar over it,
Okay.
and that's it.
Okay, so now I want to ask you, this is a very easy recipe. It seems very easy to me.
It is a very easy recipe.
Lots of people are requesting the recipe. Our producer is going to be putting the recipe, sending the recipe through to you shortly, inshallah. But now I want to ask you, for the people who doesn't like being in the kitchen, and the people who perhaps, work too much, or they've got so many other things that they rather would like to purchase. Or maybe for a small event or a big event. Do you cater for people to have functions?
Yes, that's why I left my number on Facebook for any events, occasions. They can WhatsApp me.
What's your Facebook? Where can they find you on Facebook?
Ereesha Isaacs.
Okay, so it's spelled E-R-E-E-S-H-A. Okay, and then just a contact number for people to make contact with you.
That is my number, 068 472 6491.
Okay, and then any last words from your side? Anybody you want to send a shout out to? Your family, your husband?
I want to send a shout out to my family at home for supporting me, especially my father, that's still there for me.
Alhamdulillah.
And I want to shout out to my mother. May Allah grant her Jannah.
Ameen, inshallah. Ameen. Allah, we know that is obviously where this started, and I'm sure you'll never forget them. Allah grant Jannatul Firdaus, inshallah. Ameen. We also hope that Allah grant that your business, flourish and become successful. Ameen. May lots of customers come and buy, and may you come back and say, wow, I've got a big business now, and come back with even more things that you're selling, inshallah. And we know inshallah, through the power of dua and the power of support and radio, spreading the word that is definitely possible.
Yes, inshallah.
Shukran so much.
Things went a bit tough. But alhamdulillah,
you come through it. Alhamdulillah. I'm sure it only makes one stronger, our difficulties and our challenges. And you're amazing for coming out here and telling us your story. I always say it's not just about the recipe. It's about the background. It's about where it started. And most of those people have left us already. So may Allah indeed grant all our deceased Jannatul Firdaus, inshallah. Ameen. Shukran to you, Ereesha, for coming out this morning. We definitely appreciate and love having you in studio. And we say assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That was the voice of Ereesha Isaacs, and of course she brought along some beautiful donuts for us, and you can check it out on Facebook. We are on Facebook Live, and just follow her and find out what it is she's doing, which area she's in, how you can support her business. The number for Ereesha is 068 472 6491. For now, we're heading into a break, and when we come back, we'll continue.